Welcome back to another episode of Purpose Through Fitness, a community of people looking to make a positive change in their life and not knowing where to start. It is my goal to encourage you to be the best version of yourself, live purposefully, and be grateful for all the blessings in your life. Each week I sit down to do these episodes, I find myself continuously humbled and truly blessed to do what I do, and I hope that you too can get something from this and make that positive change in your life today. Now, before we get into today's episode, I want to share with you a book by a friend of mine, Dario Felipe, called Your Deathbed Confession: How to Escape Regret, Leave a Legacy, and Live a Life of Absolute Purpose. Now, there's a huge proverbial elephant in everyone's life holding a stopwatch that's counting down every second of their existence. Everyone is faced with the decision to ignore it and live a regretfully mediocre life, trying to live up to the obligations of parents and society, or choose to acknowledge it and live a powerful life of intentional purpose and long-lasting legacy. Your Deathbed Confession is a powerful, inspiring, and practical book about the dangers of living in a risk-averse life and not living as the person you were created to be. This is one of my favorite reads, and it's an absolute page-turner. In one day, you can read this entire book, and you can get a lifetime of lessons from it. Head over to theconfessionbook.com and pick up your copy today. Okay, everyone, today I want to talk more about the benefits of fitness. Things that you may not know about and why I personally became so passionate about fitness and health. I am a firm believer that without the proper nutrition and exercise, not only is a healthy body impossible, but so is a healthy mind. Physical exercise does tremendous things for our physical well-being, but it also does wonders for our mental and spiritual capacity as well. It is estimated that only 20% of Americans get the recommended 150 minutes of strength and cardio activity per week, with, get this, over 80 million people over the age of 6 that are entirely inactive. I have personally made it my mission to try and change this. I believe there is great hope for everyone out there, no matter your current condition. Even if you feel all hope is lost, it isn't. Now, from the very simple perspective, humans are built to move. As hunters and gatherers, the human body had evolved to run great distances hunting prey and gathering food. The ability to spring through the air using our glutes is exactly what sets us apart from our primate cousins. This pogo stick-like ability of our legs has allowed us to travel long distances and to hunt and gather a high-protein diet using relatively little fuel. You may not know this, but humans are actually very fuel-efficient machines. Now, life is motion. When we stop moving, we stop living. This is why staying active is so important. If you talk to any healthy people over the age of 80, it's almost unanimous amongst them. They will say their secret to staying young or staying healthy is keeping active. Motion is extremely vital for health and aging well. Watch a normal child move. Youth is moving freely and with control. Now watch someone who's sick move. They're stiff and consequently may be described as looking old. Now, our bodies and our muscles work best when they are worked and then allowed to rest. When muscles are not rested, they become tight, resulting in chronic tension, which plagues a lot of people who don't move their body. Your body has a need to move. If you are typing at a computer for an hour, when you stand up, your first instinct is to stretch. When people undergo surgery, they are now required to get up and move around as soon as possible. Studies show people heal much better when you get them moving. And if you think about it, exercise in general is simply moving your body. In addition to the obvious muscular and cardiovascular benefits of moving that everyone knows, motion and physical activity pump vital fluids within the body. Cells and tissues with little direct circulation receive nutrition and have their waste products removed by the physical compression and stretching that occurs with motion and exercise. Exercise is linked to less depression, better memory, and quicker learning. Studies also suggest that exercise could even be the best way to prevent Alzheimer's disease. Now, scientists don't really know why the structure and functions of the brain change when we exercise, but there have been a lot of active researches in this area. And they have found that exercise improves blood flow to the brain and feeds the growth of new blood vessels and even brain cells. This means exercise will be able to help you with attention and focus. Not only this, but if you can push your body to the brink of exhaustion, it allows you to attack the daily stresses of life much more effectively. Once you can push yourself physically to the point where you're dry heaving, where you're sweating so profusely and you feel every bit of energy is gone, well, when you deal with daily stresses in life and you can push yourself to do that, a lot of the smaller stresses tend to have much less weight or significance on your overall well-being. Now, countless studies have shown us all that many types of exercising, whether it's as simple as walking, jogging, biking, or if it's something more intense like weightlifting, this can make people feel better and relieve the symptoms of depression. Exercise triggers the release of chemicals in the brain like dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin, which will essentially lighten the mood, dull pain, and best of all, relieve stress. For years, research has focused on the physical benefits of exercise, but more recently we're starting to shift and see the actual psychological benefits of physical exercise. Let's even look at a lot of celebrities out there who have been known for their exercising. Your Arnold Schwarzeneggers, Sylvester Stallones, Dolph Lundgren, a lot of these actors who have made their living off of exercise and continue to do so today. You look at them, 60s, 70s, and they look like they're 20, 30 years younger. You see it all the time. You see people out there who may be in their 40s and look like they're in their 60s. And that's a lot of those people who live a very sedentary lifestyle. Now, slowing the aging process or looking better as we age, I believe, is a benefit we can all agree is worth the time in the gym. Exercise has been shown to lengthen lifespan by as much as 5 years. And there was a new study I read recently that suggested moderate intensity exercise may slow down the aging of cells. Now, as humans get older and cells divide over and over, these cells tend to age quicker. The researchers took a muscle biopsy and blood samples from 10 healthy people before and after a 45-minute bike ride. They found that the exercise actually increased the levels of a molecule that protects telomeres, ultimately slowing how quickly they shorten over time, appearing to slow aging at a cellular level. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the most precious thing we have on this planet is time. If by putting in 150 minutes of physical activity each week allows you to get more time in your life, to me right there, that alone should be enough to get you out walking and moving right now. In fact, if you don't finish this episode, you shut it off and you go walking right now, I wouldn't blame you. Now, here's something I bet a lot of you actually didn't know. Exercise is actually very healthy for the skin. Now, a lot of you may say, well, what about all the sweating and the acne it causes? Well, let's forget the acne associated with sweating. Aerobic exercise actually increases blood flow to the skin. delivering oxygen and essential nutrients that'll improve the overall skin health and even help wounds heal faster. So, when you have an injury, get moving. Got a little cut or a scrape? Get moving. Exercise will not only ensure that your muscles won't atrophy, but will also make sure that there is good blood flow to the skin around the injury. The longer you can train, the more blood vessels and tiny capillaries you'll add to your skin. As we see with a lot of research, as science advances, as medicine advances, as our understanding of the human body advances, we tend to learn a lot of things we've been doing for a long time were wrong. And for decades, people with a lot of different chronic conditions were advised not to exercise. More recently, analysis of more than 300 clinical trials discovered that for people recovering from a stroke, exercise was even more effective at rehabilitation. Vigorous exercise like interval training, in fact, can be appropriate for people with different chronic conditions, from type 2 diabetes to heart failure. I'm excited for this because exercise and physical activity itself, in the new view of what it does to the body, is beginning to impact the medical field and people across the globe. I firmly believe that as these studies continue, we're going to understand that putting the body under physical stress and allowing it to move and exercise is going to put your mental state in a better position. And I believe through that is where you can start to uncover who you really are, what you're really passionate about, what you want to do in life. And this is how you uncover your purpose. You see, ever since the beginning of man, we have moved. It is riddled all throughout the Bible how far we have traveled. We have traveled to cover the globe. We have been hunters and gatherers. We have been designed to move. And it is interesting to me that with the advancement in technology and science proving the importance of movement, we still have technology keeping us in a sedentary lifestyle. I want everyone to get out there and move. I encourage each and every single one of you to get out and move every single day. Even if this means simply walking for 30 minutes every single day. As long as you start to move, you can get the physical and mental benefits from exercise. And who knows, maybe you, like me, can find your purpose through fitness. Now, my fitness journey started as a simple movement to be healthier. Little did I know, God was showing me the path to my purpose. I'm very adamant about exercise. I believe everyone has to exercise in some way, shape, or form. And once you begin to exercise, once you begin to push your body to do things physically it hasn't done before, then you'll begin to think more clearly. Then you'll start to understand that the daily stresses you go through become easier to handle. You'll start to realize things that you got upset about before, you no longer get upset about. You'll find that you just feel better. You'll find other people that comment how you look better. So get out and move. As always, I do like to end my episodes on a verse from the Bible that I find applicable. And I don't think there's anything more applicable to today's episode than 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 and 20. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. See, the bodies that we're in right now, these aren't the bodies that we own. These were lended to us by God. In order to glorify God, we must not only pray, we must not only wish the best for the others, but we must take care of ourselves, both body and mind. So please, everyone, get out there and move. If you don't know where to start, simply start by walking. Then do yourself a favor, find a local gym, find a friend, somebody who works out, get some advice and tips, and start taking action today. Without action, there is no path to a better you. God bless everyone. I hope you have a beautiful, happy, safe, and healthy week ahead of you. Remember to get out and move and start living a more purposeful life today.